So you gently close your eyes. As you're breathing in, recognize you're in full breath. Relax your body. As you're breathing out, recognize your out breath. Calm your mind. So you want to gently, wholeheartedly take your time as you're breathing in. Relax your body as you're breathing out. Calm your mind. And whatever the thoughts that arrive, just recognize and come back to your breathing. Inhale, exhale. So let's just enjoy 3 sounds of the bell. Allow your breath harmonize with the sound of the bell. Listen. This wonderful sound brings me back to my true home. Body, speech, and mind are oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. Make the hearer awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all sorrow and anxiety. Listen to the wonderful sound of the bell. I feel joy and peace. So dear friends, it's very important that when you wake up in the middle of the day or before you go to sleep, it's very important that you let your mind and body rest in the state of mindful breathing. So for those who actually participate with me and really bring you wholeheartedly to focus on your breathing, to bring your mind and body in oneness, you see the difference, right? The mindfulness breathing is so important that it can cure all kinds of diseases that you're going through. Even the obstacle, the distraction, the fear, the worry, the confusion, and the sadness. All you have to do is find yourself a corner, a quiet place, and follow your breathing. As simple as like that. And you automatically allow your body and your mind and your brain in oneness. And your heart trigger your brain, release a beneficial hormone, and it's cure. The disease that you're going through, the mental problem you enduring. And if you have a chance to read articles on online or through magazine, you will find that in school, in hospital, even in Google company, they have bring meditation, mindful breathing into their workplace, into their professional career, into husband school, and to apply the breathing. I have read one article in Ohio school. They have adapted the mindful breathing in their school. So before the kid began to learn and study, the teacher guide their sitting meditation for about 5 minutes or 1 to 5 minutes. It depends on the time they have. And it showed a great improvement in study and in focus. And I did the same thing when I invited into the college, into high school, in a private elementary school. I guide the sitting meditation before I share. So it's very important. You can do that. It's very easy. It's all you need, your commitment, your determination, and your passion for the practice. So remember, when you have a problem and you have no one to come and to discuss with, to share with, just take that moment. Find yourself a corner and just breathe like that. Just like I have guided you a few minutes ago. Just sitting there and just breathe, recognize your in-breath. Take your time, you're breathing in or inhale, and take your time breathing out, exhale. It's a simple act like that. And just breathe in and breathe out. I know the practice is so simple that I leave no challenge to the practice. And as human, we like challenges. We like something difficult. But sometimes something as genuine, authentically, and like meditation is a powerful tool to solve all your problems, physically and mentally. So dear friends, today, August 18, 2014, we are at Phuoc Hau Monastery, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I'd like to share you with a topic, the 6 principles of harmony, or also known as the 6 Concord. These are a principle of harmony that taught by the Buddha to monastic sangha. But I think anyone can apply this, can observe this 6 principle. This 6 principle of harmony is a guidelines to help the monastic sanghas live in harmony as community, to learn and respect to one another. So any individuals, any family, any society who want to live in harmony and peace and joy should apply these principles, because these 6 principles of harmony are the fundamental guidelines that whether you're a Buddhist or non-Buddhist, you should apply. And let us first determine harmony. Harmony within the Buddhist perspective, knowing how to live and engage peacefully and compassionately, bringing joy to all beings without fear and discrimination. Sometimes we engage harmoniously because of fear or because of politeness. Or sometimes we live harmony only if those who share the same culture, same skin color, same races, same interests. And But in the Buddha perspective, that's not true harmony. A true harmony is knowing how embrace all ways to live and engage peacefully, compassionately, with understanding to the people around us and where we live, so that we can have an opportunity to bring in joy to all sentient beings. So when you engage with one another, and you do because of you wanting to bring joy and peace and happy, not because of fear, not because of politeness, not because that person has the same height, same skin color, or not because that person pretty, or whatever the attractive you see in that person, then you are truly a harmony person. But if you live in harmony and engage in harmony just out fear and politeness, and you pretend to be nice and be kind, or you afraid of that person if you don't get along and you don't be polite or live in harmony or engage in harmony, then that's not true harmony. So here are the 6 principles of harmony. Let's go all the 6 principles first, and we'll define each one, and you see how important that you apply to this principle if you want to be successful, if you want to be productive, constructive, a true leader to yourself, to your family, and society. These must be observed and applied and practiced. The first one is concord in dwelling in the body. The second one is concord in a state of equanimity or balance. The third is concord in observing the precepts. Fourth, concord in using loving speech. The fifth is concord in sharing insight and understanding. Sixth, concord in respecting each other's points of view. Already you see the harmony is happening, right? Let's take a look at each concord or each harmony. Concord in dwelling in the body is probably very important. Dwelling in the sense of self in the physical body. So if you're not in harmony with yourself, and you're not at peace and happy, the Buddha said that you cannot be harmony with anyone. If you don't have a sense of happiness to yourself about your appearance or your mind mentally, and you're not happy, both mind and body, could you share your happiness to others? If that's possible? If you're not happy about yourself, physically or mentally, can you be happy with people around you? How about if you're not happy, you're very sad, can you bring joy and happy to that person? Probably not, huh? So the Buddha said, if we want to live in harmony to others, we have to love and to take care of mind and body by dwelling in ourselves. Accept who we are, accept the way we are, because we are very fortunate to have this beautiful body figure that our parents had given us this body. Now to me, most of you are very attractive because your 6 senses is lying in order. Imagine if your eye is a little bit down here. What's that look like? Or your ear is right here on your chin. That would be weird, huh? Or you were born without sight. But none of you are like that. So already you feel you're very fortunate. And most importantly, you are a Buddhist. you're a Buddhist and you come in here and learn Buddha teachings. You learn to get along with one another. You learn to build a leadership skill, a team skill, and you exchange knowledge and happiness, and you understand to one another. So you are very fortunate. In one of the articles I read that cite that Buddhism won the best religion in the world in 2000. That was 2004. Yeah, because in the history of Buddhism, there is no war. Buddhist practitioners are the practice of nonviolence, very encouraged to cultivate compassion, understanding to all beings. There's no discriminate against any races or any culture or any beliefs. And so be able to practice Buddhism is one of fortunate. I feel fortunate at being a monk myself every day. And so hopefully through my exchange Dharma teachings from the Buddha, I hope at least one person will take a vow to live a monastic life. What do you think? If that's fair exchange, just one person, at least one person, I hope I inspire you to live in a monastic life. But do before the age 30, that's ideal, I think. So you have more time to practice and to learn. Now, how do we dwell in the sense of self in the physical body? If we dwell in our body, we can balance our mental and our physical. So first, you have to do exercise, do physical exercise regularly. That should not include PE as goal. You find your time, whether it is sporting, biking, yoga, walking, anything that helps you stay active. And get yourself move around. Number 2, consume healthy diet daily. That includes breakfast. Breakfast is a very important meal of the day. Lunch is for your body. Dinner is your bottom part. So that's why in America we had the rate of obesity is very high because we spend a lot of time eating dinner and not worry about breakfast. So whatever you do when you get out of your house, please serve yourself full breakfast. Every one of you here are capable of doing that. Get yourself a bowl of cereals, bread, bagels, fruits, yogurt. You are able to do that for yourself. You don't need your mom and dad to prepare that for you. Eat a lot of green vegetable. Number 3, establish a strong spiritual life. It's very important that we have a faith and belief. In this case, we have faith and belief in Buddha teaching. And keep that. Try to always practice and chant and recite some of the Buddha teaching that you have taught, you have memorized. Like last night, everyone read the vows as a Buddhist. So you might read it every day before you leave the house, come to an altar and you read that. Like as a Buddhist, we cultivate compassion, understanding. Last night you read that. So memorize that and chant it every day. So it will help you establish strong spiritual. It's very important to have a strong spiritual life because the Buddha said that it's like another wings for you. Your father, your mother can only provide material, and so that's serve one wing. But in order for a bird to fly, it needs what? 2 wings. So a spiritual family is a second wing. So if you have a problem at home, you can always come here to talk to Anh Chị Quân Trữ, to talk to the abbot here, to talk to the monks, the master, your Dharma friends. But if you don't establish a spiritual home, then you always feel a stranger to gia đình Phật tử, the elder brother and sister, the monks and the master, and your Sangha, your Dharma friends. So it's important to believe and to practice what you have taught and what you have learned, so that it's imprinted in your mind. And number 4, diligently practice meditation regularly. In order for us to cultivate compassion and understanding, it just not come like that. You just not saying, oh, I will live happy, I will learn to respect all beings, everyone, I need to love and care. You just can't say that. That's just saying it. But in order to cultivate that loving kindness, that caring, that understanding, you need to put effort. And the traditional way is learning how to do meditation or mindful breathing. Every day, every moment, you give yourself a chance to sit and to meditate, to focus on your mindful breathing, whether sitting, whether walking, eating, or even testing on your phone or watching the internet or a movie or playing a game. If you are aware of your breathing, then that's the moment that you give yourself a chance to cultivate, to develop the seed of compassion, understanding, love and kindness, generosity. And once that element is developed, your heart triggers your mind to reach the peak of productive and constructive life. It's just automatic doing that. And you have to experience to see that through. So remember, compassion, understand, not just come like that. You put effort and you put into practice. So allow yourself to do that throughout the day. The second aspect of it, dwelling in the body, concord dwelling in the body, have 5 aspects. So the first aspect, we are dwelling in the sense of physical form. Now the second aspect is dwelling under the same roof. In the family, the husband and wife have to respect each other, mutually respect each other, in order for that family to be happy, live in harmony. And if there's no respect between husband and wife, the children will suffer. If you and your brother does not get along, you cause rivalry, right? In a family, jealousy. So it's very important that if you live under the same roof, every member in the family needs to exercise the responsibility as a husband and father, as a wife and a mother, as a son and brother, as a daughter and sister. Let's review each role of the member in our household. A role as a husband to his wife is to love and assist his wife so that she feels secure and happy to serve her family. The duty of a wife to the husband is to respect and encourage her husband to be productive, to strive the best for the family as a whole. A duty as a son and daughter to his and her parent is always to love, respect, and care for his and her father and mother until they pass away. Right? And as a sibling among each other, your duty is to motivate, to help your sibling, to encourage your sibling, and to do best to achieve their goal and their dream. You don't criticize your sibling because she's not smart or he's not smart, but you encourage them to develop their potential energy so that they can, or he or she can be able to do the best in school, in their talents and their skill. So care as a son and daughter, it's very important to care and respect your parent and to assist them, bring them joy, and do whatever you can to your parent. As simple as when your parent come home, offer them a glass of water. As simple as come there, give them their little hand massage or back massage, or just simply give them a hug and a smile. Anybody can do that, right? But that's the greatest joy that nothing can buy, but only the heart, the love and respect that you have for your parent. So if you want your parents to live happy, to bring joy to the family, to help them to resolve the difficulty that they encounter at workplace, all you need to do is provide them, give them a smile, give them a hug, offer them a glass of water, like someone offering me right now. So I'll take this moment to drink before I continue. Just simple like that. But you bring a great joy to them. Or just waking up in the morning, fold your own blankets, drain your bed, prepare breakfast for everyone in the family. Anybody can do that. Try to live and be productive as a person, as a member of the household. And you remember there's a Viennese famous poem that embraced the gratitude of the parents. Who remember that? Yes.
Công cha như núi Thái Sơn, nghĩa mẹ như nước trong nguồn chảy ra, một lòng thờ mẹ kính cha, cho tròn chữ hiếu mới là đạo con.
Can you sing that for a line? Thank you, Gong. Thank you. Now, can I have a volunteer to read in English? If it's on the screen. Yes. And please read the lines out loud for everyone to hear. Just that 4 lines. Yeah, read out loud, please.
The good deeds of father are as great as a mountain. The virtue of mother is as bountiful as spring water gushing from its source. Wholeheartedly is mother to be revered and father respected, so that the child's way may be accomplished.
Thank you. Yes. So it's very important that we always revere our mother and respect our father. Remember, the Buddha said that even we carry our parents on our shoulders, carry them throughout our journey of life, we still can never pay the debt of our parent gratitude. Debt of gratitude of our parent. So their hardship, their sacrifice, their love for us is enormous. Do you agree with that? Unconditionally love, right? So your love for your parents, your care for your parent is so humble and so modest that at least that's what you can do. So don't think that you wash dishes, cleaning the house, do well in school, take care of your siblings, expect that your parents will be paid for you, expect that's a big deal of things. That's very small. Trust me, anything that you do for your parents is very small compared to their hardship and sacrifice for you. So next time, or after this retreat, when you go home, volunteer to do whatever you can to bring the joy and happy to your family, because you have learned the principle of living harmony. So let's, under the dwelling of the body, there's 5 perspectives. So we have 5 aspects. So we have 3 more. Dwelling in school. If you're an educator, it's very important that you show your compassion, your patience to teach your student and to help your student strike the best, to help them to develop their potential. And so if you are one of the Wing Chun here, that's considered under perspective of educator. Make sure, be patient, be consistent, be fair, and to show the young one, to show the newcomer, in order for a community or a youth association grow and to flourish. So be patient. But as a student, as the young one, well, you need to show respect to your teacher, even though you think your teacher is not worthy. But give your full attention, give your respect, give your care and wanting to learn. You will understand beyond what you say. And you give, more importantly, give her the motivation to speak and to share with you. And because she had that motivation, she tried her best, or he tried his best to find the interest for you, to help you to learn better in school. Just like you give me a full attention or allow me to share with you. So it gives me the joy to sit here and to talk to you, even though some of you, I know that you feel very sleepy at this moment, but you try to open your eyes wide and to listen to what I have to say, because you show respect. And by showing respect, you will remember and you will learn beyond what I'm sharing with you this morning. So it's very important that as a student, take it very seriously in respecting your teacher and learn what she or he had to share. Obey and follow the school rule, which means it's very important. Well, I'm sure you're a Buddhist. You're automatically a very obedient, very loving, kind student, because you had made commitment and vowed to practice the 5 precepts and the 5 morals rule that you as a Buddhist. So there's no way that you would be hard and not break the rule at school, right? So I trust that you are very good in school, follow the rule, and study hard and be friendly. And so if you're a Buddhist, again, I know that you're very, being friendly with other persons is not very hard. And I know that you never bully anyone. Anyone here bully any kid in school? No. Yeah. You would not allow yourself to do that if you're a Buddhist. Now you know that kids who bully you is because they're very sad, they're very suffer. And so they have to pick on someone to release their suffering, to relieve their sadness. If they're a happy person like you, why would you want to pick on anyone or bully anyone? Is that right? So if someone who bullies you, consider of care and love for that person instead of afraid and hate that person. Sometimes you might silently and pray for that person to resolve the problem he's going through, and to have the love and care from someone provided to them. But other bully you, sometimes they bully you because they see that you are not engaged harmony with them, you're not being friendly, and that happened too. So try to be friendly and try to polite and talk to everyone. Don't sit in a corner and not say anything and withdraw yourself, isolate yourself from the crowd, because you'll be easily being picked by. in dwelling school, it's very important. You know, the chapter of your school age is very short. It's probably the shortest chapter of your life. So you want to spend a lot of time studying and learning and to educate your academic. Because if you live in a world without having education and without having a degree, it's hard to find a job. It's hard to find a decent living. So whatever that distracted you, whether it be video game, internet, or social media, books, and all that kind of distraction, try to minimize that as much as possible and just focus in school and do your best in school, so that you have a future, you have a successful life. Again, the school stage is very short. It's so short that by the time you realize that you are in 30. And so this is the age that you should focus, you should invest all your time to learn and to study. Do you agree with me? Yeah. The 4 aspects dwelling in the same organization. In this case, let's take a Buddhist Youth Association, for example. And a Buddhist youth, in order for you to dwell in your own organization and happy with your Buddhist youth, gia đình Phật tử, you have to take refuge in the Buddha, refuge in the Dharma, and refuge in the Sangha. Taking refuge in the Buddha is always in a state of awakening. Take refuge in the Dharma, forgetting is to learn and to practice the Buddha teaching that's been handed down from the monastics, the monks, and from the elder brother and sister who shared back to you. Learn that. Take refuge in Sangha is mean to live in harmony and respect the monastic, respect the elders. And when you see them, you join your palm together and send your gratitude, your happiness, respect to them. Join your palm just like you've been doing it. It's a very beautiful gesture. I mean, when you bring your hand together like this, you bring your body and your mind together and you offer that lotus for that person, meaning I respect you because you have the Buddha nature in you, and I bow back to you. I respect you even though you're only 7 years old, but you have the Buddha nature in you, just at the same level as myself. So that's very important and a very beautiful gesture to do that when you see one another. Not just the monk only, but to friends, amongst friends. And it's important that you participate wholeheartedly in all the activity in gia đình Phật tử, because that's what makes gia đình Phật tử grow, sustain and flourish. So hopefully next time when I have a chance to come back here, I will see this gia đình Tịnh Giác grow bigger, more. And I think it's important that we can invite, because we live in America, it's important to bring other nationality into our circle, into our organization, to see varieties of different races and culture, and to show them the beautiful teachings of the Buddha. And when you do that, remember that as you getting older, enter into college, attend college, you should come back and serve and support your organization, just like some of you here, like Thich, for example, and amongst others. So give back to your organization, because I have heard that once you're in your college and you never, most of you don't come back here. I know that you have a very busy schedules, school and life, and you involved with different people. But don't forget your small family. Don't forget to help the young friends here and the newcomer. We need the people who go first and come back and serve. It's very important. And the fifth aspect is dwelling in the country you are living, which means respects the laws that you live in that country. If you're a resident and a citizen, try to exercise and demonstrate good work ethic and be respect to the law. Imagine if the country you live in, everybody respect the laws and follow the rules, regulation, and everyone have a good work ethic. What does countries like? Rich and a safe place to live, right? So you see, already you will see that just by the first concord, you see that how rich that is bringing to individuals, to family, and society if everyone practice and observe this harmony, this principle of harmony. The second concord in a state of equanimity or balance. Equanimity is non-discrimination. You treat everyone equally. You share your portion equally to others. So if you are responsible to distribute something, make sure that you're ensure to equal share to everyone in the family members or your organization. Make sure all the members receive equal share, and don't favor. Don't think because this little boy is cute, so you give more to him, and this girl is not cute, so you give less to her. But if you are responsible to distribute of the share, make sure do it fair and do it equally. Sometimes a good leader has to sacrifice their own portion, their own share, to make sure that the group have fulfilled the share because of insufficient of something that you're sharing. So sometimes you have to quietly and sacrifice that part of your and helping all the kids to make sure that everybody have enough. And this is very important. This concord is helping us to practice generosity and giving and sharing. And in Buddhist practice, that if you want to minimize your craving, your greed, then you need to practice giving, sharing. There are 3 ways giving. Do you know what are the 3 ways? Buddha taught us that there's 3 ways of giving and sharing. 1, you give materials, your clothing. That's the easiest. Anyone can do that. Sometimes you want to give that so you can buy new clothes. And so that's very easy. Anybody can give money to homeless, to charity, to monastery. Anybody can do that. A penny, $1, $10. That's very easy way of giving. That's one way, but anybody can practice that. The second way is giving Dharma, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm sharing the Buddha teaching. That's a little harder because you have to practice, you have to learn, you have to live with it in order to share Dharma. But you can do it as well. If you have been coming to Yidin Phật and you have been practiced and you have seen the value as being a Buddhist, you can share it back. And that's called giving Dharma. The third, which is a little harder, is helping someone to release fear. If someone has fear's obstacle and you put your time in and you listen and you help that person break that fear, overcome that fear, overcome that obstacle, that's not easy, and that's the highest giving that the Buddha said. Like, for example, if you know a friend of yours wants to commit suicide, fear of facing with other friends because he or she felt that they're not important and they're not satisfied of their life, so they take their life by using eraser or razor and cut themselves. I have seen that. Good that some of you here see it's very surprisingly. But kid had done that, and then you have helped that person to see, differently, to see how their body is very valuable, and to see how this life is very valuable. They can do so much of this body that they're giving. And you help them break that fear, then that's the highest giving. So make sure you always take care of one another. Your sibling, your Dharma friends, your member, check around. Because sometimes a person has fear and they don't want to share with anyone. You just have to observe carefully and to see what that person needs and what we can respond to their needs. The third concord is observing the precepts. So can I have a volunteer to come and read the first precept? This is the precept that you have made commitment and vow to study and to practice it. When you receive, after you receive the 3, you will become a Buddhist. Remember this? 5 precepts. 5 precepts is a way to train you to live in mindfulness. This is the guidelines, very fundamental guideline basics as a Buddhist. And this, when you study and practice these 5 precepts, you see all is helping us to cultivate compassion, understanding. There's no hatred and violent ignorance in these practices. So these practices also should be observed as a universal law. I see that in my own view. But so can I have a volunteer to read that with the microphone? Yes. Thank you.
Not to kill, not to let others kill, and not to support any act of killing in the world, in thinking and in the way of life. Instead, one should embrace having a profound reverence of all life, for all life.
That's the first precept. So the first precept, you see that it's not to kill. Is you don't kill, you don't encourage others to kill, and you don't applaud other to kill. When you see someone do killing, you applaud. Now, sometimes killing using guns and a weapon through this action of killing, that's almost like mentally breakdown. If you're a person who is normal, you would never use weapons to do it. But sometimes we kill each other through the thoughts of words. And that's also killing too. You kill their happiness. You kill each other's happiness. So practice this precept well. The Buddha say your life will expand. So sometimes when you see cockroaches and insect in your house, make sure you ask permission before you move them out of the house. But the best way to exercise this precept is to make sure to keep your house clean, and then you would not have this problem of killing any insects. The second precept, please.
Not to steal and not to possess anything that belongs to someone else. Instead, one should practice generosity in giving.
There you go, very straightforward. Yeah. Not to take other person's possession, but you need to share and give. Don't be greedy. What you have to share. When you share something to someone, someone will give you back one day. The third precept.
Not to sexual misconduct. This means not engaging in sexual relations without an established, meaningful, and long-term commitment. Instead, one should practice true love.
At your age right now, I mean, give over to the boy. Yeah, you could pick any boy you want, even if they don't raise their hand. This precept is more for adults. Like when you're getting older, And then remember, when you make commitment to marry someone, make sure you live truthfully with that person. But at your age, in school age, I think you should focus in school, and don't let your desire and your influence by your friend or even your instinct calling you, say you should love this person, because it's going to take a lot of your time. You have other stuff you need to study in school. You have your family to care for. Where do you have time? You have to care for other person. It's going to take a lot of time. So, to me, I think that at school age, you should socialize and be friends with one another, but not go into deep relationship. And it's very important to see this, because the Buddha said that in each of us we have this precious jewel. And this precious jewel is passed down to our children generation, or to our children and our children generation. And if you pick the wrong one and you give, you're wasting that jewel. And then by the time you want to pass on this precious jewel that you have, that had transmitted from your ancestors, from your parents, then the children that you born might not be smart, might not be fulfilled the way that you want it, because you spend this jewel. And I think in a manner way, at being a gentleman and as a smart girl, I think a true gentleman, when you want to hold a girl's hand, you should ask permission first. You just don't grab her hand and allow your instant mind to direct you to do something that you regret. And as a girl, you should be more mindful before you accept that, because one holding hand can lead to something else. And this is very normal. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the world we live in. The Buddha described this desire world. We always have some kind of desire, always. Desire of money, desire of sex, fame, food, sleep, all kind of craving. And those are the 5 world cravings. So be mindful and allow your intellectual mind and your instinct analyze before you make your decision. But again, I think you should, on your school age, and you're still in school, just focus on that in school, and for just be friends, just socialize, and keep that aside for now, and come back when you finish your school. It will wait for you. Don't worry. Now, the 4th precept, please.
Not to lie, not to gossip, not to manipulate, and not to swear or cuss. Instead, one should practice deep listening and loving speech.
These are the 4 ways that you lie. So not tell the truth doesn't mean not to lie, but also not just gossip. Gossip means in the Buddhist tradition we call it double tongue speech. You break the community happiness and manipulate, and to swear and cuss are the 4 ways that you lie. So a person you want to speak loving speech, kind words, you have to practice deep listening. There's no other way to it. And the 5th precept.
Not to use alcohol or any other intoxicant, or to ingest foods or other items that contain toxins, such as certain TV programs, magazines, books, films, and conversations. Instead, one should practice adhering to a mindful diet that is nourishing and healing.
There you go. So during Buddha time, only not to use alcohol, but now we live in the world that is so many distractions that can lead us into a wrong path. And so injections in wrong food also harm our mind. Reading wrong magazine books and have a wrong conversation, that's also leading us in the wrong path and might lose our awareness or insight. So always exercise mindfully to what you're consuming. I know that when you feel distressed and you're tired, you want to escape, and using watching TV, playing video games, drinking alcohol, or use drugs is one of the ways that to help you to leave this reality dimension and go into some other dimension that you don't have to face your reality. But you have, once that you finish with that, you have to come back to reality, and that might wear you out already. So when you have a problem, don't base on any substances. Based on your what? If you have problems and you're going through very difficult, don't use any substances, whether texting, video gaming, drinking alcohol, smoke, use drugs. Those are just escaping temporary. And when that is finished, you have to come back to reality life. And that can harm more than good. But instead, what do you need to do? Someone say breathe. Who said that? Yep. We have learned that, we have tried, we have practiced that. Buddha had left all that and to find the eternal truth, the truth of seeing that the world we live in, there's a lot of suffering around, distraction make us suffer, but there is a way to bring our happiness by meditation. Apply mindful breathing. So please, when you have a problem, don't escape by using any substance, but use your mindful breathing. In the 10 to 30, 50 breaths, you see your whole self difference. You renew yourself. Try that and see for yourself. The fourth is conquer in using loving speech. We just mentioned the 4 precepts. Is what? Not to lie, not to gossip, not to manipulate, not to use cuss or a swear word, but to practice deep listening. So conquer in using loving speech. In order for you to speak kind and gentle and sweet and lovingly, you need to listen. If you don't have capacity to listen, you cannot speak lovingly. It's very hard, right? Is it possible for you to speak lovingly when you don't have capacity to listen to others? Very hard. And so you need to learn to listen before you say something. So practice deep listening is a very basic way of go to use loving speech. So try to speak genuinely and lovingly. I like to share with you that before you want to say something, you want to exercise your mouth first. Collect all your idea and your word and work it on your jar like this, and make sure that you feel like you collect all the word into like a flower garment, and then you begin to speak. And so when you speak, it's like a flowers floating out your mouth, rhythms, music. So you have that kind of idea before you speak. So you speak like with the rhythm instead of with harsh and unkind word. Let it float out to your mouth, just like the mouthwash scope commercial. Have you ever watched that? You watched that? I watched it when I was little. I don't know if they were still showing that. So in order for you to speak kind and lovingly, you want to think as if you are using this mouthwash, and you begin to speak and just flowers flowing out through your mouth. Because if you don't, and the word you might flow out is going to give a bad breath. People will not appreciate that word. So exercise like that. You use your word wisely and more deep and more meaningful. And here's the mindful verse, and that as a novice, a monastic novice, we have to memorize and to practice before we say. A mindful verse is a verse that helps us to be mindful to what we do, to what we say. And here's the verse that what we have before we say it, we have to recite this verse first. Can I have volunteers to read this?
Words can travel thousands of miles. May my words create mutual understanding and love. May they be as beautiful as gems and lovely as flowers.
Thank you. Yes. Your word can travel very far, miles and miles. You believe that? Yes, because we have the technology to do that. Let's say if you say something just like one young man just read the verse, I record it, and I hit send to Vietnam, everybody can hear that. So if you say something nice and beautiful, everybody all over the continent will benefit that. But if you're saying something that is not nice, that there was discrimination present, you will also be affected by it well too. Just like this person on this Facebook that he did that he typed in and told his friend about that 10 years ago he had make sexual act with this young girl, 16. But that was 10 years ago. But because they have this conversation in this Facebook, so he was unmindful. So he automatically said, oh, I did that too. And so by the time he hit send, an hour later, the police came to his house and arrested him. That was on radio on my way to college to share to give a speak on that day. I heard that on the radio and I shared that in the college student. You see, your word can be very important for others, but it can be very harmful. So your word is like an instrument. So exercise your speech well before you say it. So it's benefit to many. And the last two lines very beautiful. Make sure it's as beautiful as gems, as lovely as a flower, like a garment, lovely garment that you want to offer to someone. Two more concord, and now we've finished this talk. The fifth is concord in sharing insight and understanding. We should be inspired to learn and mentor each other. So it is a privilege and it's a joy to be able to share your Dharma, to be able to share your understanding of knowledge you attain. And don't afraid that you share. When you share someone, you think the other person is better than you. Don't be afraid of doing it, of saying it, of sharing. You know, sometimes we have some secret way to do something, whether in cooking or in way of doing something, and you don't want to share anyone. You want to keep it to yourself. That's not good, because when you're sharing to someone, you deepen your you deepen your thoughts and your insight and your understanding. Maybe when you share something, someone will provide you a better way of doing it, and you learn from them more. But if that's not the case, it's just a way to expand your knowledge and your insight. And so, to motivate each other in learning and to support one another is a way to help us walk on the righteousness path. Just remember that. So share your insight and understanding to one another. And sometimes you have to be humble and persistent in sharing your understanding and Dharma and knowledge. Not everybody wants to like to listen to your insight and understanding. But if you have something really good and you think it's very important for your family, for your members, for your organization, for your team, You should be humble and persistent and carefully and genuinely share that so that everyone can benefit your knowledge, your insight. But if you understand something and you give order, you need to do that, and you need to do that, and this is what you should do. There is no other way. Nobody will listen to you. So you need to be humble and modest, persistent in sharing, especially the older brother and sister. So keep that in mind. Concord in respecting each other's viewpoints. The Buddha said that all beings equally possess awakened mind. And so, because all beings equally possess awakened mind, this means we all have the same Buddha nature. We all have capacity to be awake and to understand in Dharma equally. So there's no reason to despair other person's viewpoints. But we should practice listen without reacting with judgment, prejudice, and discrimination. And if you can listen attentively without discrimination, without prejudice, you will learn, you will understand beyond what that person is saying and listen. Just like some of you here who really pay attention to what I'm sharing today, you will understand more than what I share with you. So, always respect each other's viewpoints. And remember, viewpoints is just a point of view. So this moment you have this kind of view, but next point it's not going to be the same. And so as the other person. And Buddha says that all views are wrong views until we reach enlightenment, attain a true realization. Otherwise, we should examine, contemplate carefully in our views before we share and listen to others, what they have to share. So when you have a discussion, when you come in a group and have a meeting, remember, listen wholeheartedly, without prejudice, without discrimination, without judging. Just listen to see what that other person is saying. And if you can listen to that, you can find a same common purpose. And there's the verse, practice mindful breathing. On this respect each other viewpoint. Can I have volunteers to read this verse?
Looking deeply and practicing the actions of the Mother of Compassion, breathing deeply, breathing softly, breathing peacefully, no sorrow, no changing to things.
No clinching.
No sorrow, no clinging to things, no clinging to views. Respect to the elders, love to the younger.
Thank you. So when you listen, just enjoy breathing in and out. Don't cling to views. Don't cling to ideas. The more you attach to something, or cling to something, more suffering you bring to yourself and others. Open your heart out. Embrace everything that's offered to you. Don't get yourself stuck. So to conclude my sharing the 6 principles of harmony, again, they are fundamental, universal guidelines and principles. Provide for our guidance not just for individuals who want to live in harmony to one another, but it's also protecting the resident and citizen of that country that we live in, encouraging respect and obedience of the law that we live in the society and or in school or in every organization, every place. There's always a regulation that we need to follow and obey, and that's the way to go to live in harmony. And if we can all practice like that, if every individuals live in harmony and follow the rule and exercise their responsibility as a duty of a son or a daughter, as husbands and father, as mothers and wife, then a very happy and peaceful place to live for the family and the society. So let us, today that you have the opportunity to learn the 6 principles of harmony taught by the Buddha, let us make commitment in front of the Buddha, to the 3 jewels, the Buddha, the Dhamma, Sangha, and be the instrument to live in harmony, first to ourselves, then to our family, and to our society. And this is the way to practice and to observe if you want to be happy, you want to live a successful life. Would you make commitment to practice these 6 principles of harmony and bring it into to life? You think you remember all 6 principles of harmony? The first one is what? Conquer dwelling in the body. Very good. The second one. Equanimity and balance, which means equally distribution, sharing. The third? Concord in observing the precepts. Fourth? And fifth? And sixth? Now, how about we learn a song related to harmony? You might not remember all my sharing today, but you definitely will remember this song because it is a very short song. To live at one, we are all the leaves of one tree. Have you learned the song before? So maybe I could sing with you first. We are all the leaves of one tree. So there's a hand gesture right here when you say we are. So you bring your 2 hands together and right in your heart and you move in a circle like that. We are all the leaves of one tree. We are all the leaves of one tree. The time has come for all to live as one. We are all the waves of one sea. We are all the waves of one sea. The time has come for all to live as one. We are all the stars of one sky. We are all the stars of one sky. The time has come for all to live as one. We are all the leaves of one tree. We are all the waves of one sea. We are all the stars of one sky. The time has come for all to live as one. So now you know the idea of the song. Let's sing one more time with a hand gesture together with me, please. We are all the leaves of one tree. We are all the leaves of one tree. Louder. The time has come for all to live as one. We are all the waves of one sea. We are all the waves of one sea. The time has come for all to live as one. We are all the stars of one sky. We are all the stars of one sky. The time has come for all to live as one. We are all the leaves of one tree. We are all the waves of one sea. We are all the stars of one sky. The time has come for all to live as one. Thank you. Can I have a volunteer? No. Maybe at 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock. Thank you very much for your listening. So can we join our palms together and let us dedicate our merit to all sensing beings. Nguyện đem công đức này hướng về khắp tất cả đệ tử và chúng sanh đều trọn thành Phật